Okay guys, so I found a bunch of eggs here, and they're from my turtle. My turtle was sitting up there, and she obviously needed to lay them. I don't think she's ever laid eggs before, but she has always been like the same size since I've got her, so it's possible that she's laid eggs in the past, but I highly doubt it. So these are our first eggs. As you can see, there's lots of messed up things and whatnot. So I'm putting them into this here. I don't know if they're fertilized. I don't know how to incubate eggs. I'm kind of just going off whatever I kind of know, and then I'll do research later. But as far as I'm concerned, if I do want to save these eggs, then I need to put them in a hot, humid environment. But right now, the way that they are, they'll probably mold because they're covered in the yolk of some of them, because some of them are covered in yolk and some aren't. So, or whatever they're covered in, I don't even know. But some are disformed, and I don't know. It's just weird, and I don't know if they're fertilized. She has been in with males, but not necessarily recently. She has been in with a painted turtle male, and he seems to breed her, but I'm not sure that they're locking up or if that's even possible. I don't know what's happening, but it happened, so I'm going to kind of see if I can incubate them, I guess. I've done research on incubating crusted gecko eggs because I do plan on breeding my crusted geckos, but I haven't done any research on turtle eggs, so not exactly sure what's happening here or if I'm going to be doing it right, but I hope I am because this would be really, really cool. Okay guys, so I have some disappointing news. Basically all the eggs have molded, and except 2, but they're kind of moldy. I don't know. Only 2 of them really seemed alright. And if they were alright, so like saying there's a bunch of ifs here, okay? So if she retained sperm from a red-eared slider she was in a couple months ago, then these might be fertile. If Lewis actually mated her successfully, then they would be hybrids. And if they're even fertile at all. So best case scenario, we get red-eared slider babies, which we don't want more red-eared sliders because we don't need more in the world. There's tons of people breeding them, and there's tons of people needing to get rid of them because they're not fantastic pets. And then, so even if I incubated them correctly and they were fertile with red-eared slider babies, that wouldn't necessarily be a good thing. And then if they were hybrids of red-eared sliders / painted turtles, that wouldn't be necessarily a good thing either. I don't think we want hybrids of turtles necessarily. That's just, I don't know, hybrids just kind of seem like a bad thing to me. So basically they could have been fertile. I highly doubt it, especially since most of them are messed up, and I'm assuming this was her first clutch, which most of them are infertile in her first clutch anyway. At least that's what I know with other reptiles. I'm not completely sure with turtles, but I assume. And then I'm pretty sure I incubated them like completely wrong because I don't have an incubator. So I've been trying to keep it. It needs to be like 80 degrees and 80% humidity. And I've been trying to keep it around there, but I don't think they've been staying that humid, or they're either too humid or not humid enough. And then temperatures ranging throughout the day because they're not in an incubator. They're actually over here in my, in the top, like my iguana's light area. So here they are. I have some roaches and stuff down here because they like it warm, and there they are. So most of them, out of like the 10 that I think were actually any good, there was like 17 eggs. I think 10 were any good. 8 of those molded, and then the other 2 look all right, but I think they're also a little bit moldy on the underside, and again, not doing great. So we got this little thing, and it says 80 degrees and 81% humidity, but I still don't feel like that humidity is like correct. I don't know how to explain it, but like I think there's paper towel in there because they definitely molded on the sphagnum moss. So I switched them out again, trying not to flip over any of them, and then I think the paper towel's dry, but it's like humid in the thing, so I'm sure that's not healthy. Like that's not good for them. And then it's just not a whole great situation. So if I do plan on breeding turtles, like I'll set up a proper incubator but we don't really want any anything coming from red-eared sliders anyway. But like I said earlier, if they would have worked, then it would have been good. But basically, these aren't hatching. I need to figure out something to do. I think I'm gonna just like bury the two that are all right in like some soil that I have in my room. So then if something happens, then it will. But if not, then it won't. And then I'll probably just throw the rest of the eggs into and feed them to the isopods that are in the other terrariums and whatnot. So sadly, this is kind of an unfortunate story, I guess. And basically what my plan is like I said, I had researched crest gecko eggs, and at this point, Darwin is laying eggs. But they're not fertile because she's never been in with a male, and the isopods are eating them, and she's not in a proper enclosure to like breed and whatever. That's Darwin right there. And she is laying eggs. So what I need to do is I'm going to make or buy or figure out how to set up an enclosure that somehow has one part that's 80 degrees and 80% humidity all the time, and then also one part whatever these guys need, which I think is less than 80%. So basically, I'm not sure I'm going to do that. The humidity is going to be the real problem there. I'm not sure I'm going to keep that humidity, but I'll look up how to build one and we'll figure it out, and I'll build an incubator, and then I can incubate these guys, and I can incubate turtles in the future, because I do want to breed turtles, just not red-eared sliders, not any type of slider, preferably western painted turtles, because I have a western painted turtle and they're technically not native to this state, because here there's eastern painted turtles. So preferably I'd breed western painted turtles or some type of side neck turtle, like African side neck turtle or snake neck turtle, or basically anything that's like non-native to here, because you can't sell them if they're native to here. Not that I'd be selling them anyway until they were a certain size, but that's kind of the plan. I just don't want to breed like really common turtles. I want to breed turtles that actually need to be bred. So that's kind of the situation here. I feel bad because I would have loved to like somehow incubate the eggs perfectly and everything turn out great, but I guess that's not how it is this time. So sorry for this bit of a depressing video, but turtle laid eggs, that happened, and what that tells me is that I need to make sure I am supplying dirt and everything, and I have a plan to supply dirt in the 300 gallon, which is where those two turtles are going, those two being Pee-wee and Lewis. They will be going in the 300 gallon outside, and I have a plan how to set that up so then if she does have eggs, then she can lay eggs, which she will. That's just normal for turtles. If you didn't know that, female turtles will lay eggs like no matter what, and if they don't, then they'll get egg bound, which is where they're trying to reabsorb the eggs inside their body, because they're like, well, I can't lay them, like I'm going to reabsorb them, and then there's like too much calcium and it just doesn't turn out great, and then you'd have to, like, if that goes on for too long, you'd have to get them removed. So I'm glad that she did figure out a way to lay them and not like just die of egg binding. So that is very good, and I'll make sure to supply that in the future. Currently I can't exactly connect a way to our enclosure, but I'll figure it out later. So hope you learned something in this video. If you did, like down below. If you have any comments or concerns, put in the comments below, and if you want content, then subscribe. Have a fantastic day.